the beginning. We're just getting started.
Yo, beaming in from the 5th dimension. Or was it the 6th? This is Matt Black from Coldcut.
Hello, I'm Jonathan Moore from Coldcut.
Bringing you some funk-jastical vibes across the tracks. Signalling, it's about human communication, signals and symbols, suggestions. Excuse me, I'm getting a signal right now. It's my birthday today, you know, I'm 45 years old today. Yeah, this is my girlfriend. Just hold on a second. Hello, baby. Thank you. Hi. I'm just sitting in the sun in Toulouse doing an interview. Bye. Signals from the...
Honey, I got rhythms I haven't used yet.
Signals, yeah. Experimenting with different sorts of signals. I mean, people ask us why have we gone back to songs and vocals on this album. I think it's because the voice is the primary human instrument and words are the primary mode of communication. They're the best thing we've got so far to communicate. You know, there are other alternatives as well. You can speak with your fingers. Some people can even make art and poetry out of speaking with their fingers. But my family, my background is with words, and I've always loved the singing and the human voice. And so mixing the human and the machine, playing with different ways of presenting human signals. I think machines at the moment are their most interesting when they are interfaces between human beings. A machine is not actually a very entertaining partner. Other humans are entertaining partners, but a machine can provide a link for us to transmit signals. And they also enable us to create, modify, process and combine signals as well in some very powerful ways.
And you can feel it.
The album is called Sound Mirrors. That means a few things.
You could say that the album is called Sound Mirrors because it's a reflection of everything we've done in that period of time from when we started. And I suppose we started this album about 4 years ago.
The sound mirrors our experience, our emotions and our feelings. And John and I are two human beings. We go through life as fathers, as lovers, as partners, as workers, as human beings, as members of society. And each of those roles feeds us different experiences, and we take them, and as artists we try and we put that out. I'm thinking of Yoda in Star Wars. He says, don't try, just do it, you know. And that's what we do.
I think, you know, as you get older you do tend to get more mellow, so perhaps it's not as full on as it might have been on Let's Play, but I think that's a good thing in a way. I think it reflects post-millennium. In '99 a lot of people were feeling not confident, but you know, quietly confident that we were into a new millennium and things could get better, and you know, there was a sort of the future is bright idea. And now, 6 years down the line, actually it's a lot darker and more frightening a world, so we're told.
Jonathan and I like many different sorts of music, not just dance, although we love reggae and techno and funk and hip hop and many other types of music. So as DJs, we want to work with and play with these styles of music. And so working with just one singer wouldn't really achieve that. Or maybe we haven't met the right person yet, but on this album it felt right to work with different people, from John Spencer to Roots Maneuver to Robert Owens, Empo Skeeve, the different guest artists that we have. And we're trying to balance some diversity with some coherence.
It's a Coldcut album, which is always going to be eclectic. It's a patchwork.
Coming from London, it's a good city. Yeah, it's dirty, violent, polluted, snobbish, many bad things, but also many good things. And perhaps the best thing about it is the mixture of people, genetic backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, social mixture. And I think our music reflects that social human mix which goes on in London, which is really where we're based. Each of us is individual. Now, I am different to you, but at the same time, I am you, and we are all part of a big organism, which is Gaia, the Earth, and also the universe. So there is that contradiction, if you like, between the singular and the general. And so when we're working with someone like John Spencer, he's a very different sort of person to John and me, but yet there is a connection there. I guess each of the people we work with has a distinctive energy, an energy that is a human character. I think that's what we're looking for when we choose people to work with.
Now I'm the king of the swingers, oh, the jungle VIP. I've reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me. I want to be a man, man up, and stroll right into town, and be just like the other men. I'm tired of moving around.
The lovely sound of Scooter's sample that. Sound of the youth.
A sample is a frozen moment of experience, whether it's visual or musical, or you could have samples of smells as well. I'm looking forward to the new Smell-O-Vision, actually, the smell synthesizer and perhaps the touch synthesizer as well. This will give some new possibilities for art. But at the moment it's mainly sound and vision that we're dealing with. And yes, a sample is the opportunity to take a moment of time and look at it in detail, to repeat it. When you repeat something, it becomes a pattern. Humans are good at identifying, and we enjoy patterns. We like recognizing patterns, and that is a part of sampling, I think. And as I say, the opportunity to look at something in detail, you can zoom into it with a microscope, you can step back and take a wider perspective. Each of these tells you something about the moment that you're dealing with.
There's samples of anything, do you know what I mean? Like Walk a Mile, that's got me sampling, that's what I'm doing over there. Nice, nice. Yeah, so that's all I do, get the microphone, go like that, and then put an effect like that, delay and reverb onto it. That's still a sample, you know. There's samples of all sorts of different sounds. There are samples from the traditional source. When people say sample, they think of stealing somebody else's work. And there are samples on there that are off records.
If you've got a song, as I say, with a verse and a chorus, it makes sense to use that. Of course, dub, for instance, the Jamaican technique, is a way to deconstruct that and kind of strip out some of the structure, as if you built a sculpture and then taken a saw to it and chopped away parts of it. What you get left might actually be interesting as a different shape. But without the original structure, it would be meaningless. So to start off with a shape and then hack away different bits to make a different shape, that is one approach. I think with other songs like perhaps Beats and Pieces is a track about montage. It's a montage about montage, and it doesn't have all that much structure. But then one of the good things about dance music is that the beat gives you a basic structure. It's not just kind of noise. You know, some academic music, some free jazz might be very interesting, but for me it's not something I'm going to listen to, let alone dance to, because there is not enough structure. A good beat, and not just a loop, something that has variation, provides a pattern, but a pattern with variation. I think total repetition, total nothing changes is boring, and total noise, randomness with everything changes is boring as well. So in between that is where music happens. Life is like that. Life is also a phase transition between total order on one hand and total chaos on the other. Life is sort of in the middle, doing that dance.
At the moment, people want to see live performance because music's so accessible now, and the only thing that you can't really download is a live performance. So, you know, there's been a lot of manufactured acts, and there's sort of return to some kind of reality in the live band and guitars and things. There's like if your brother's been into dance music and it's got turntables and stuff, you don't want to be like your older brother or your older sister.
When I was a child, I used to do shows for my family where I set up lights and sounds and buzzers and motors, and my mum called it a sound and light show, and I think I'm still doing the same thing now, but that's been going on for many hundreds of years. I think humans are fascinated by this idea, and I think it's a useful and you know, healthy kind of garden to be working in. You are filming me now. My image and my sound, they go together. Humans are optimized for understanding audiovisual streams, and so it seems natural to take music and add visuals to it. For other people, very good perhaps just to specialize on music, but that's not our way. Our way is to try different combinations. There are many ways in which sound and vision can be related to each other. We're exploring as many of those ways as possible. That's been going on for hundreds of years.
Matt tends to concentrate on the video side of things, and I concentrate on the music. But you know, we both come up with shit, we both come up with ideas, and swap them around, move them around until we've got something that we think's good. We adapted our mixer, or our mixers, so that they control the video mixer as well as the audio, so that when you move the crossfade of the picture that you're bringing in and out on the DVJ, that comes in and out at the same time as it would a record. And we designed software VJam to be able to manipulate video clips in real time and play them in different ways and do different things with them and recompile them. I think, you know, once you start to really know what you're doing, it's a lot easier to improvise. You know, we have elements of improvisation within the show, but they're within a certain area that we know and that we've rehearsed. You know, I might be doing some beats and I'll turn to Matt and I'll do that sort of thing, which means that I'm going to drop it right down, and which means there'll be some more space so that he can do some stuff.
It's a balance between stuff which is prepared and then the ability to modify that and perform on top of that. So we have many blocks of material, but live we can stack up those blocks and play with them in many different ways. We also have Robert Owens, who is a great singer from the tradition of house music. In fact, you know, one of the best known singers in house music. And so he provides a human element to that, as does MC Ju Salim, who's a rapper on our label Big Dada, and he's been doing a lot of the gigs with us and helping direct the energy with the crowd, the relationship of us on stage with the crowd. He provides an interface to that. Even John and I have been known to say a few words on the microphone, tell a few jokes, whatever. And then there's Raj Panu, who's a new addition to the crew, who's a great scratch DJ, and we're taking him and applying him to new technology to do audiovisual scratching, and I'm using some of the same equipment as well, so that we're scratching in the way that hip-hop DJs do. That is an instrument. We have the ability to gate, process, trigger, and mix audiovisual samples into the mix, so there's quite a degree of improvisation that goes on there. The songs do have a structure, and with songs, especially songs with verses and choruses, you have to stick to that structure to an extent. I would like to make the show more freeform and more improvised, but I think we're starting off with a kind of basis of the album songs and a basis that we know what we're doing, and we're learning that and as we learn that, we'll be able to improvise more. But there's certainly, we are not just pressing play and letting it go. Many electronic acts will be on stage going, yeah, really all they're doing is miming, or just everything is pre-recorded and they might be doing a bit of effects, but not very much is going on. That's okay if you want that. That's more a kind of DJ kind of performance, which is cool, but we're trying to take the ideas of DJing, sampling, electronic music and hip-hop and provide a new type of performance, and including improvisation. I think our structures are quite extreme enough. I mean, I would push it out more, you know. I would like to play for 12 hours and explore the whole history of art and music, but we need to work up to that. Coldcut live at Pompeii, about 5 years' time. Keep it locked.
You can either take the motorway, or you can take the nice little roads and stop off at the cafe and have a glass of wine and a nice piece of cheese, and then drive off a bit longer and do some other nice things. Or you can go onto the motorway and you can drive hell for leather and maybe stop at a service station and get a horrible plastic sandwich. So our evolution is one of taking the scenic route, which is always better. Some of our songs are political, so, you know, in everything you do is political, every breath you take is political. So that's us.
I'm 45 today. I'm happier than ever before in my life. I'm feeling good, and don't be scared about getting old, because actually things get better. Even sex gets better. My mind, some ways not going so good, other ways getting better, and I'm still learning. And I think Jonathan and I in our music are still getting better, and you can do it too. Do your own thing.
What I'd like to do is zen out these flies, make them go away without killing them. But if I had my chopsticks here...
And you can feel it.
Reflects.